Hello, and today we'll be playing the newest update of Heroes Advent, and this new update is for Max. We made it. There's a lot of guards around the gate. The city must be on high alert. Do you think they'll even let us in? We'll proceed with caution. We can't be making fatal mistakes this early into the journey. Max took his place in front, leading you all towards the city's gates at the bottom of the hill. As you approach the gates themselves, you could make out the figure of several guards stationed outside. I'm not gonna play all this. I'm probably gonna skip this part because I already saw this in the last update for Heroes Advent, but I'm just play a little bit of it. More than the guards, more than the two guards you would expect from a video game. Hold, stay your herald in business. I'll handle this. Don't say anything needless. Why? Don't worry. From your place next to Max, you watch White spur his hoof forward to meet the guard a bit away from the main gate. Hello there, gentlemen. Yeah, we're not currently interested in your services, Wayman. Maybe it was your imagination, but the guard seemed to suffer uncomfortably having to turn down Way. What? Hey, wait, that's not. I'm not here looking for a good time. We're here from Crystal Coast and Guildmaster Alaric's orders to coup the evil king. So that missive was a that missive wasn't a mistake. They really are sending more troops or another suicide mission. This whole ordeal must have driven the governor mad. Darn right. How can he still think about dethroning the king when his city is in shambles? I take it you've already been made aware of Palermo's situation. Yes, a courier came earlier in the day to inform General Whitmar. As well, he instructed us to take you to him. He wishes to personally discuss matters with you. Let's get this part here. Visiting the mess hall. You decide to go to the mess hall in the hopes of finding ingredients to stock up for the journey ahead. Much like some of the other buildings, the mess hall was built with minimalism in mind. The exterior built tough, with a cavernous interior to hold all the hungry soldiers still clad in their uniforms, winding down with their dinners. Towards the back was a counter, behind which you spotted Cody examining the back rooms of what you assumed was the cafeteria server. He scrutinized the ingredients in the shelf, boxes and sacks, under the watchful gaze of the staff. Excuse me, this is a mess hall, right? Can I buy some rations off of you? Yes, though. Don't get your hopes up for anything big. We haven't been getting any large shipments lately to spare much. That's alright. Can I look at what you can spare? Sure, sure. See that bear back there? Just pick something from that area and bring it here. Mm. Bono Gia, Bono Biagu, Lusule, Lumawe, Luentu. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I bought it or not, but anyway, let me see. I don't know if I bought anything. Anyway, you decide to approach Cody. Hey, Cody. Oh, Dave, looking for supplies too? Was there something specific you wanted me to make? Not really, just seeing what they got. What about you? You look like you can't find what you needed. There's a cricket out here making this noise. That's what they're wondering what the noise is. So this is Max's route, so we're just gonna say maybe later. You decide to leave Cody to look through the cells and asking the staff about the price of each ingredients. I'll leave it now. I'll come back in a bit. Alright. Looks like you're done here. We'll turn to a map. Let's try here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything different here. Yeah, it's about the same stuff. I'm just gonna skip this part here. Kawasa for. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that now. You're looking at. Go back. You followed the route leading toward the place marked on the map as a church. Though what you found wasn't quite what you had expected. The church was little more than a small cabin furnished with religious ornaments. As you crossed the threshold, a submersive silence followed, all external sounds muffled the further you went from the doors. Mounted above the altar were three symbols that you assumed were their equivalent of the Christian cross. The adjacent walls filled with stained glass depictions of scenes you had no context for. Standing over the altar was a mature goat robed in priestly vestments. Asleep at A sheep sat upon the left pew, closest to the altar. In the opposite pew, the familiar orange and striped fluff ball had his head down. Toby. We'll talk to Toby in a moment. The familiar orange and striped fluff ball had his head down. So apparently Toby's here too. We'll talk to the police first and we get to Toby. Walking down the aisle, you made a beeline for the altar and the priest presiding over it. I believe yours is also a fresh face. Welcome, child of Prisma. Hello, would you happen to be the priest in charge here? Yes, I am the chaplain for this chapter. I had a few questions about the religion. Would it be alright to ask you a few questions? It would be my honor to induct you into our faith. In these dark times is when we must look to our merciful Maker for salvation. The ram's hand came to rest upon a pendant about his neck, clasping it in silent, reverent prayer. All right, thank you, Father. Quietus. And what do you go by, child? Dave, Father. I see, a fine name indeed. Should you not find me here, you can always direct your queries to our brother, Francis. You turned to face the seat sat at the pew, hard at work, binding a solid-looking book. He looked up from his work to offer you a gentle smile and wave. Upon close inspection, you notice his attire, nun-like habit resting over his lithe form. I am not yet versed in the Maker's teachings, but I shall offer guidance where it is appropriate. He must be a fair deal younger than Quietus, his horns not having completely grown in, though his voice already possessed a similar soothing quality. Consequently, if you are ever interested in taking a holy artifact with you, I may also provide them to you for a nominal contribution to our cause. It will help us with maintenance of our little chapel and its members. It will help us with maintenance of our little chapel and its members. Okay. Got a lot of new stuff here in this church. A lot of new content as opposed to with Cody's part for chapters for day 16. But all this is new here for Max. Can you teach me more about the Maker? Do you recall the sermons given to you as a child? Not really. Do not feel ashamed that you have returned to the path of the Maker. It is all the penance you require. He is our beacon of hope and salvation. He is the beginning, he is the end, the one true light from whence we came, and to him we shall return. A lot like Christianity in this world. Well, in our world. Anyway. There's our mantra. It comes from the story of creation. Do you not recall even that? Unfortunately not. Though it was a lie that you had known at all. Even your experiences from the orphanage that had to do with religion were a hazy memory in the back of your mind. In the beginning, there was nothing. From the void, the Maker created the known universe. Praise be his magnificent power. From his soul, he created three aspects. From his body, he created all living beings. The three govern the world under their watchful eyes. Wait, I think I remember this. The master, the speaker, and the arbiter. Yes, that is correct. The priest smiled broadly, though the sheep didn't seem to share in enthusiasm. Despite his divine duty, one has strayed from the life. Despite his divine duty, one half strayed from the light, the fallen one who deceives the body with powers and lies. Francis, still your tongue. My apologies, Sal. That was unbecoming the Maker's servant. It's all right. Please tell me more. Each of the three aspects of the Maker's soul are denominated as Aether, Tellus, and Nether. All three rest upon the same spectrum of resonance. Aether lays to one end creating harmony. Nether lays upon the other end amassing discord. Tellus rests in between them as the metronomic constant. Stay away from the Nether. It cannot be trusted. Please, brother, do not let our worldly strife dissuade you from our beliefs. Do not let your faith be shaken. The young sheep scowled for a moment before looking down, same-faced. Yes, forgive me, Father. Now, where was I? Aether, Tellus, and Nether. I've heard quite a bit about harmony, and Nether, Tellus, is still relatively unknown to me. That is unsurprising, given current events. Those terms are thrown around quite recklessly. Tellus is everything between harmony and discord. It is a power given to us by the Maker. It is what affords us control over the elements of this world. The closer an element is towards harmony, the more tame is its application. The closer to Nether an element, the more unpredictable its behavior. That is only historic speculation, Francis. We must not defile the holy teachings in such a sway. But Quietus, even in Scripture, the antidote of the fire witch. I'm unaware of Scripture, Francis, but we cannot allow our biases to taint our mission. My apologies, Father. It seems I have exposed the many weaknesses in my heart still. The ram reached his hand out to rest upon the sheep's shoulder. All is well, brother. It is only natural to err. So it's the nature of the tree. So it's the nature of the tree. I hope this has all been a helpful refresher. Yes, thank you very much, Quietus, Francis. Does the church believe in fate, Father Quietus? For what is understood of the Scriptures, we do not have preordained destinies. The Maker has put us here to weave our own histories, so that we may feed these memories back to Him when our spirits return to His magnificence. Does that mean that committing sin and indulging in temptation won't condemn your soul? All things in moderation. The Maker values the experiences we gather, so long as we do not lose ourselves in Nether, or our souls destabilizing His harmony. Then all experiences are encouraged. What Francis means is that the Maker is forgiving, even if you still commit a sin, so long as you live your life in balance. He shall accept you back into His embrace with open arms. Each of our paths and choices determine the stories we create. We make our own fate and destiny. The Maker merely guides us to a proper conclusion. Thank you, I think. I understand a bit better, Father. That pleases me to hear, youngling. It tops my mind. Wait a minute. While it's top of mind, how does the Maker guide us? Does He ever speak to His creations directly? He speaks to us in many ways, like guiding constants in your heart that differentiates between what is right and what is wrong. There are times when I have heard a voice of someone I have never met in my dreams. It always seems to appear when I was lost and in need of guidance. In your dreams, Brother Francis nodded, smiling softly as he continued. He speaks with the chorus of his creations. He has no voice, for he speaks through, for he speaks straight to your soul. Some scientific research has found that when in deep sleep, our resonance falls outside the naturally achievable range. It's said that this degree of resonance is the same wavelength of the makers and can even allow one to communicate with others in dreams. Francis, please, do not fill his mind with such impure thoughts. We preach only that which is within Scripture. Do not forget that. Yes, Father, my apologies. He returned to you with a tepid smile, though you can sense the honesty from his words. I do believe the work of crystal researchers to be of holy works, where I cannot deny their results. Let us focus upon our matters of faith. Yes, just a, yes, just listen to your heart, Dave. Live the life that Megan will be proud to experience. I will, Francis. What do you do here in Frenzy? I assist Quintus with the daily operations of the church. I have not yet been officiated, but I have not been yet officiated, so I handle all minor matters. As an ordained priest of the prismatic light, I hold sermons to keep my congregations from falling to the plague of nether. That's something the church can do. I presume you think we do purification. That's one of our services, yes. However, what Father Quietus is referring to is the corruption of the soul. Nether is not only the physical corruption you have faced so far. When we stray too far from harmony, our bonds to the Maker can become corrupted. The powers he has loaned us nothing more than a toxicity. Reminding them of harmony can help stem the chaos from taking hold of their hearts. Normally, there would be more acolytes to help with these matters, but it is only Francis and I. In these war times, it is hard to keep so many safe, but we stay strong. These experiences only enrich our souls for the day we return to the Maker's side. I see. You mentioned purification. Can you teach me how to purify others, or any form of magic, unique to the church? Barton, where did you hear that the church had some kind of magic exclusive to the clergy? I have read some stories where those of the clergy possess light magic or magic related to their faith, like Aether magic. If only such a thing existed, we'd make short work of those nether abominations. Alas, I only know the healing magic most practitioners learn from the most common physical and mental maladies. What about you, Father Quintus? My actual magic attunement is quite low. My natural affinity is of fire, but due to my chosen profession, I cannot control the more volatile aspects of the power. The man removed his amulet with utmost care, so as to catch it on his horns before throwing it to you, opposed to a foci. I have this, a foci or foci. Opposed to a foci, I have this to keep my elements stable. He cast a look to Francis, who gave you a sympathizing smile, shaking his head. Probably not something you should press Quintus on. Actually, what about the sages? Do they have any relationship to the Maker's church? If all the magic is on a loan from the Maker, that applies to their abilities too, doesn't it? Have you met one of the cardinals? Yes, they are the strongest connection between us and the Maker. They are the anchors that bind us to him across the void. Despite that does not make them divine. They are mortal, like you or I. They are still as fallible to worldly needs and desires. Do not, in the name of the Maker, commit abomination against your fellow man. Don't blame your faith for personal gain. You would do well to remember that, Dave. Yes, Father Quietus. I, I think that's all I want to ask for now. Thank you, Brother Francis, Father Quietus. Well, Father Quietus. You're most welcome, child Prisma. Come whenever you seek guidance, we shall help ease your burdens. Follow the Maker's light, lest you be taken by chaos. You nodded and left them to their responsibilities. Was there something that interested you? Yeah. Maker watch over you, child Prisma. You approached the tiger cautiously, hoping not to interrupt whatever prayer he was deep into, though upon close inspection, it just seemed like he was deep in thought. Hey, Toby. Oh, Dave, what brings you here? Toby didn't break his stance to turn and address you, staring hunts over his chin resting on his knuckles. I was actually going to ask you that. I didn't expect you to be the religious type. Nah, nothing like that. Just needed somewhere I could think. Do you need something? You took a seat next to the tiger, resting your hands on your legs. Not really, just thought I'd take the time to talk to you. Didn't get to know you when I first came to the city. Well, you're wired, huh? Things got really crazy really quick. Toby went back into his pensive slouch, eyes cast down upon the solid colored tiles painted in the tent light from the stained glass windows. There was a light furrow in his brows. Along with him biting his lips, there was a lot the tiger was going through. Are you having second thoughts about joining our journey? Heh, are you kidding? I get to be with Max again. No, I'm worried about Dad. He's all alone now. And if we don't make it back, then he'll have no one left. What about your mom? Doesn't he still have a wife? You caught yourself too late thinking back to the casualties of the siege and the possibility that Toby's mother could have been among them. My mother? No, she hasn't been around since I was an infant. Oh, I'm sorry for bringing it up, Toby. No, it's all right. It was probably for the best she's gone. Huh? How can you say that about your own mother? Did her death mean that little to you? There was a light scoff from Toby, and when he turned head to face you, there was a wide smile on his face, a tearful gleam in his eyes. Who said anything about her dying? She would almost have preferred if she were dead. What happened with your mother, Toby? I don't really know. Father said he found me home alone. Mother left him a note that said she had run away to Iberia to be with her true love. Oh, sorry, Aunt. She said that Dad had stopped loving her ever since he had taken over as guild master. Had started an affair in his absence, said he never noticed how distant she became. The tiger's nose creased in a semi-snarl. I wonder what she would have thought when he had to take over as governor, too. So I guess Alec had to raise you by himself, huh? I guess Mom had a point about that. Dad was usually too busy to take care of me, so he hired a nanny to take care of me when he couldn't be there. But when Dad was there for me, he always made it count. He was there for every birthday. He always skipped work when I was sick. He'd do anything for me. Those last words were accompanied by a defeated look cast back down to the ground. Maybe it's just because he spoiled me, but it feels real lonely without him here with me now. Is that why you're so? I don't know. It's all of them or just one. Let's see here. Clean fresh. Is that why you had a crush on Max? Because he gave you a lot of attention like your dad did? That made Toby's suit back against the pew, pawing at his face, trying to hide the luminescent blush on his cheeks. I mean, I like having any kind of attention. I used to play pranks on the town folk and cry a lot when I was a kid. Anything to get the grown-ups around me to pay attention to me. I mean, you still cry now, but not as much as when I was a kid. And well, mostly to get Max's attention, it means everything to me. Where the other recruits almost dismissed me for being the guild master's son, he was the only person who treated me like I was my own person. Maybe that's a pretty shallow reason to fall in love. Maybe I was seeing things that weren't there. You could use this time to actually get to know Max better, Toby. Just give him his space when he asks for it. I think you're right, Dave. I still have feelings for him. I need to find out what that means for me. I think I'm going to need some more time to think about things now. If you don't mind, Dave, do you want me to leave you alone? You don't have to leave, but I'd rather not talk about anything else for now. Oh, I understand, though I should probably get back to exploring the rest of the city for anything useful. Alright, see you later, Dave. See you, Toby. I hope you find the answers you're looking for. Mm-hmm. You too. I wonder he's, well, we didn't go back, it didn't make me go back to this choice, so I had to go back to the save file and come back to this choice, so I picked clinging, so I picked clinging, so I'm gonna pick carefree to see what these choices may mean. Is that why you're so carefree? Is that what it looks like? The way you just did things because you wanted to. Looking around, being all buddy-buddy with others you like. To be, joking around, being all buddy-buddy with others like you knew them. I thought you either didn't care or were oblivious to it. Toby gave a nervous laugh, lightly dragged his claws through the fur on his back of his hands. But I just like how it felt getting people's attention, especially Max's. He was the only one to actually laugh with me about my antics. This time you had placed your hand. This time you had placed your head in hands, looking out into the distance. That's not really a healthy way to ask for attention, you know. The smile on the tiger's face slowly receded into the same pensive frown he had when you arrived. Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I finally pushed him too far, eh? Finally seeing him yell at me like that was a real wake-up call. Thanks, by the way, Dave. For what? For talking to me that night. You could have just left me there like everyone else. When I had so much going through my mind at the time. You taught some sense to me, and that means a lot to me. You're not going to say you've got a crush on me too now, are you? In that moment, Toby composed himself just enough to sit back, one leg resting over the other, a satisfied grin across his face. That depends. Do you think you can handle me as well as Max did? You sure that's the phrasing you want to go with? He shot the tiger back a sly grin of your own as he seemed to immediately lose his nerve. What? Oh, not used to getting flirted back at, huh? Still, I should try to make sense of what I'm feeling before making hasty judgments like I did with Max. Just letting you know, you've caught my eye, Dave. The feline's nonsensical back and forth between his honest feelings and cool persona made you chuckle. Something that made Toby squirm, returning to that face of vulnerability you began to recognize. What's so funny? Just refreshingly upfront of you to admit that. Usually it would take a lot longer for most people to admit that. I'll take that as a compliment. Toby puffed out his chest. Pridefully, you could only smile at him awkwardly. But just so you know, that doesn't mean I accept. Yeah, I don't expect you to. I made that mistake with Max once already. Do you think he'll ever reciprocate if you told him? Probably not. He couldn't tell true love from an empty stomach. Can't really argue with you there. I think I'm going to need some more time to think about things now. If you don't mind, Dave, do you want me to leave you alone? So I'm going to go back. I'll do this choice. And then after that, I'm just gonna go back here and just pick Clingy. That's my original choice. So I'm gonna do this here. Then after I'm done, go back and pick this choice to continue with the game from that choice. Is that why you're proving yourself to the other guild members? Yeah, I didn't want them to think I got this far just because I was daddy's boy. Besides, it was nice to get their attention when I got to help people. It made me feel like I mattered for my own reasons. I see. One of my personal reasons for joining you guys, I feel closer to Max in your group than any of the other guild members. And why is that? Well, I'd rather not think too hard on it. Alright, I'll leave it at that. Thanks. I think I'm going to need some more time to think about things. If you don't mind, Dave. But you don't. But. Okay, I mean. Do you want me to leave you alone? You don't have to leave. I guess the same stuff again. Alright. Looks like you're done here. Return to the map. I'm going to stop it right here, and I'll continue next time. So, this update has a lot more than I was thinking it would have. I thought it would be like an hour, but it's going to be a lot longer than that, so I decided to stop for now. But we learned a lot more about Toby, and he's under his father's saddle. He's being the guild master's son, and everybody when they look at Toby, they only look at him as that, the guild master's son, and they don't look at him as being his own person. They don't look at him as just Toby. He's just the guild master's son. So whenever, so he likes to do things that will gather people's attention, and people will he wants to be known for himself, not him being related to his father. So when he does things that benefit others or benefits the city, and people praise him, he enjoys that because it helps himself, mentally. Like, it makes him feel like he's his own person. Can't speak. But anyway, it makes it feel like he's his own person and not merely the guild master's son. And he very much loves Max, but he's now coming to realize, especially in this conversation with Dave, that he's being too pussy. He got to slow down some with Max, because I think Max, he views him as a friend, as a valuable friend, but as far as like intimate stuff, like a relationship, Max shut him down. He shut him down very firmly. So we also got to learn more about. I can't speak a week. Anyway, we got to learn more about. I don't know about more because we haven't really heard about his family situation until really now. So anyway, we got to learn about his family situation, the fact that his mother left him when he was practically born. So he's been raised by his father his entire life, and his father was very good to him, and it loved him very much. And his mother left because she felt like she was not getting any attention from Alaric, because his duties as the guild master, and because of that, she decided to go with somebody else. So she just felt like Sir Alaric wasn't giving her enough attention and that he'd be away too long. And unfortunately, that's just something that's bound to happen when somebody has a job that is very important, like being a guild master, because basically he's over something important for the city. I mean, when he has a job like that, or any job that requires them to be gone for a long time, like politics or being in the military, or being part of a big organization that you're, being part of a big organization that you're a leader in it, is gonna require you to be gone for a long time, and the job just it requires a lot from you. It's not so much him not wanting to be with her, but that's when you get jobs like that, it's something that's bound to happen, and you really can't help it because your job requires you to be gone for a long time. So you really can't be with a person that you're in a relationship with. So I understand the mother, but I also understand that Alaric has duties. He can't be there all the time. So the mother decided it was best just to move on to somebody else, and he left her son and decided to be with some other person. So yeah. We got to learn a lot about Toby and his life, and despite him being this optimistic and confident, confident and flirty type of person, he also has his challenges and his insecurities as well. So we'll continue with the rest of this update from Max next time. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.